Hello, beautiful Taurians. These are going to be our messages because I'm a Taurus too. For the next little while, keep in mind that if it makes no sense to you in the month of November, you might want to listen to it in the month of December or even January, as the energies are fluid. They're not really boxed in a 4-week period. So let me tune into the energy. I just did a different sign, and the energy with Taurus, it feels very different. It feels sparkly and prickly at the same time, which is kind of interesting because sparkly to me is excitement. Prickly to me indicates a level of discomfort. So you might be feeling on and off for a period of time where you are oscillating between feeling really good and then feeling the opposite. And you may experience this as these sort of swings. It seems to be a pattern I am noticing, and I'm also a Taurus. So if you have been experiencing ups and downs and kind of feeling energetically all over the place or lacking energy altogether, know that it's just the period you're going through energetically. We are being quote unquote amplified. We are expanding on an energetic level, and that can throw us off a little bit mentally and emotionally, but the energies have a lot to do with it. So what might be prickly? What might be prickly is things that you're feeling about a particular situation, and you may not necessarily know what to do with it. And if that is the case, I would encourage you to, first and foremost, not rush into doing anything at all, of course, if you can help it, and rather put yourself in a place where you are the observer and you are deciphering, so that later on you can make a choice. In a roundabout way, what I'm saying here is if you feel like you need to make a choice or decision, but you actually don't need to make a choice or decision right now, it's best that you don't make a choice or decision right now. Obviously, if you have to make a choice that's incredibly important, then you don't have the luxury of that. But for the majority of you, this is about, this time is really, the time feels very concentrated over the next few months. It feels very energetically very concentrated, where we might kind of feel all over the place, in which case it's a lot harder to make a well-informed decision, because we then tend to make decisions based on what we fear, based on what we're trying to get rid of, based on what we're trying to eliminate. So time for contemplation is very, very important. Being open to looking at things from a different perspective and being open to listening to your intuition. So intuition is coming forward up front, and the message here is, well, listen to your intuition. If you're a Taurus, you're probably already in tuned anyways. I don't even know why I said that. I don't even know if that's the case for most Tauruses, but there, I said it. So maybe it's on my channel. If you're listening to this, then you're probably fairly intuitive yourself. The word that came up for us is the word resistance. And oh boy, do I know much about resistance, especially lately. I've been feeling resistance going through the roof. And I don't even know what it is that I'm resisting. Sometimes it feels so odd that one moment I feel excitement, on the next moment I feel resistance towards this excitement. I'm chucking it up as these energies that we're experiencing, so I'm trying not to make much sense of it, other than to acknowledge that this is how I feel, and I'm trying not to fix it. And the reason why we would want to fix it, the reason why I would want to fix it, is because I don't like how it feels. It feels uncomfortable. But this is not time to fix things. This is time to just ride through them. And again, if you have to make a choice, or you have to make a decision, that's really important. Obviously, you're not going to wait. You're going to do the best you can. So if you're experiencing resistance, you might feel that resistance for a little while longer. I am seeing period of 2, so that's anywhere from 2 weeks, 2 months. I feel it's more like to the end of the year, where January brings with it fresh energies and less resistance. So over the next little while, you might feel you might feel like you're stuck more so than you've been used to, and you're not really stuck. Life is moving on, things are working in the background. You're just going through a discomfort, and generally discomfort has to do with change. So if you are resisting something, it's because something is changing and something is shifting, and you are in a resisting mode. And it's like applying brakes, not wanting to go somewhere and not really having a good reason as to why you don't want to go somewhere, but maybe you're afraid. And change can often bring with it levels of uncomfortableness. So be mindful that you may feel resistance a little bit longer. The idea of cultivation is something I am to talk about. And what this essentially means is, A, knowing what's important to you, deciding what's important to you, letting your heart or intuition tell you what's important to you, and then taking the time and effort in order to cultivate it, in order to ground it, in order to bring it into abundance at some point. Now, I'm going to ask for an example here. For some of you, this could be as simple as you learning how to play an instrument. Something you may have done before, but you've given it up, or something you've never done before, but always wanted to. If it is important to you to learn how to play a guitar, for example, like in this, I don't think it's called a guitar, but if you get the picture. If it's important for you to learn how to play an instrument, I don't care how old you are. You could be 2 or you could be 92. If you want to play an instrument, learn to play an instrument. If that's what makes you feel good, then that's what you do. And that's just one of hundreds of examples that I could give. It could be learning how to practice yoga. It could be learning how to practice meditation. It could be learning how to practice grounding techniques. It could be learning how to practice healing techniques. It would be learning how to practice being more open, towards people. Whatever it is that's important to you, it's important to cultivate it, to spend time and effort, and to put time and effort into it. Again, it's very, very grounding. You might meet new friends while doing it. So if you might be enrolled in a cooking class, and lo and behold, you're in a cooking class and you meet somebody who strikes your fancy, and boom, before you know, you become best friends, good friends, buddies, or significant others. You never know. However, don't jump into anything too quickly. Take it day by day, enjoy the process, and see how the world unfolds for you. All right. So generally we resist because we have this subconscious idea that whatever we're resisting is not good. That's usually why we resist. We don't resist things generally because they're good. I mean, sometimes we resist things that are good, but those good things have a negative meaning to us. So sometimes we resist being loved, and we resist being loved because we feel inadequate. So if we feel inadequate, we're going to resist love coming to us. So that's an example. Priorities. Deciding what your priorities are and sticking to them. Being very, very mindful of what is important to you. Same idea with cultivation. I'm drawn to the coral orange. That's sacral chakra, but I don't feel that's where I want to go with this. When I look at the color orange, I am being taken to my back, and it's like my back is being shown to me. Back is all about support. I feel that when you decide your priorities and you stick to your priorities and you make your priorities important to you, the universe will oblige and will bring you support to help you meet your priorities or to help you cultivate your priorities. All right? I'm drawn to the turquoise here. Okay, for some of you, your third eye is clearing, your sixth chakra is clearing. And what does that mean? It means that, well, you're becoming much more in tune. So you might have amplified psychic visions. You might see things other people can't. You might see things from a different perspective. You might sense a shift in your perspective. You may sense like that your perspective has widened. There's a lot of purple in this card as well, which is very much crown chakra connected. So while you're going through this period of possible resistance, what's happening in the background, you're becoming much more attuned into yourself. And that can be sometimes interesting. I have been lately literally feeling like my brain is working differently, and I don't even know how to explain it other than I look at my thoughts and I'm going, that's not me, that's not normally how I think. And I'm convinced it's to do with these energies, because there's no other reason for me to feel this. So if I'm feeling this, chances are a substantial number of you feel this as well. So just kind of notice if you have these different swings, almost like going from one dimension to another, where you are peeking into different dimensions, so to speak. I hope this is making sense. And, you know, don't let that alarm you. When it happens to me, I feel, sometimes it feels a little bit scary, because, you know, the ego is entrenched in doing things a certain way, and then when it steps out of that realm and it experiences something different, it doesn't know what it is. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel like home. So I hope you get the picture. So priorities, hugely, hugely, hugely important. Anything else? Think of yourself as someone who can versus someone who cannot. If somebody suggests something to you, you say, oh, no, I can't do that. No, don't be so quick to say, no, I can't. Unless you can't because you don't want to, but not can't because you somehow feel you're not good enough or inadequate. Be a person that can versus a person that can't. And again, that's a shift of perspective. If you think of yourself as someone who can, then you are much less likely to resist change. That's just the way it is. You'll still resist it to some extent, but you're much likely to resist it a lot. All right? Faith. What can I say about faith? Well, faith is very important. Have faith in something, but most importantly, have faith in yourself. Because if you don't have faith in yourself, you will be trying to get faith from somebody else or something else. And that generally never really lasts. It's like borrowing something from somebody. It doesn't belong to you. Somebody can take it back. So having faith in yourself is very important. This is a very dynamic time where faith can be cultivated. Faith in trusting the process, trusting the river of life, going with the flow, trusting that universe is there to support you. There's a lot of beings and healers around us that are supporting us in our journey. Yes, we may not see them. Yes, we may not hear them. Yes, we may not feel them. But if you're listening to this channel, you're being guided. You're being guided to be listening to this channel. That's how it works. Spirit is always going to get you. So whatever this is coming whatever's coming through to you right now, it's coming because you've asked for it. You've asked for it in some way, shape, or form, and I happen to be the person that will deliver it to you, because that's energetically how it works. So having faith, very important, but also having faith in success. The Ace of Coins to me signifies success in this particular instance. And one is dependent on the other. If you don't have with yourself, it's much harder to feel this manifestation, this security. On the other hand, when you do have deep faith, And faith doesn't mean blind faith. Not at all. That's not wise. Faith simply means you do the best you can. You're honest with yourself. You're true to yourself. And once you do the best you can, then you let the universe, do its part in order to help you, whatever this manifestation is. But having faith in yourself is critically important at this time. Very important. Mostly because I feel many of you, as myself, are shifting. And some of you are shifting quite drastically, where things are changing fast. Your thoughts are changing fast, and that can feel a little bit uncomfortable. There's no question about it. You have the Fool, or we have the Fool. It did show up in reverse. So I kind of didn't like it in reverse, but I didn't really ask what this is about. I just heard it's better than you think. Oh. It's better than you think. Whatever the new beginning that you are approaching, whatever your new beginning is, it's better than you think. It's better than you think. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're working towards, whatever you're trying to manifest, it's better than you think. It is important to, yes, trust the process, yes, to be mindful, and to not be too rigid in terms of how whatever you are working on is supposed to come to you. Because the way we think is we want this and that, and generally this means this. However, we're heading into different times where if you told me 10 years ago that I would be 6 years ago that I would be doing work on YouTube and that would be my job, I would have said you're crazy. It would have never occurred to me. So, but if I wasn't open to it, if I had rigid expectations of how I'm supposed to do this work, then chances are I would never put myself out on YouTube. As a matter of fact, when I was being asked by Spirit to go and open a YouTube channel, I literally said, what the F for? I didn't want it. I didn't want to be seen. But the universe had a different idea, and the universe said, yeah, you need to be out there. So reluctantly, I joined YouTube, and the rest is history, and now we're communicating. So be open to how you receive your manifestation. It doesn't always come in the package that you are expecting. So just because it doesn't come to you in a package you're expecting, doesn't mean it's not good or it should be rejected. It just means it's coming in a different form and it's worth investigating. And I know that's a message for me too, because we all have expectations. We can't expect something we're not aware of. We're always expecting based on what we are aware of, right? So, but I know they're speaking to me about this. So that maybe that's resistance that I'm feeling, maybe things are supposed to come in a different form and I'm clinging into a certain form and I'm having difficulty adjusting. That could absolutely be the case. Speaking of which, 2 of Cups we have, which is a commitment. And yes, for some of you, this might be commitment with somebody else, but for others of you, this would be you committing yourself to a project, to a job, to doing something new. Commitment. It doesn't have to be with another person, but there's a feeling of you committing yourself to something fairly new, fairly quickly. And I want to say as quickly as before the end of this year. So you might find yourself committing to something in a short while. You might receive some kind of a proposal that's coming out of the blue that happens to be part of your manifestation, but it's something you haven't thought about before. And lo and behold, it shows up in your door and says, hey, I'm here, take me. So that could be something that's presented to you. For some of you, you might be given a project that may give you financial stability, but it may not be something that you're very used to. So it would mean that it's something maybe different or maybe out of your comfort zone. If it's being presented to you, chances are pretty good that you're equipped to take care of it, that you're able to handle it. Generally, universe would not present you with situations that you are not ready for. And here's the reason why. Because whatever we are experiencing, we are always in perfect alignment with it. Always. So if an opportunity presents itself to you and you feel like you're not sure, look deeper. It's worth investigating. All right. Is there anything else I want to say? Yes, the Four of Cups. This is about you seeking satisfaction over and above of what you already have. I want to make a distinction here. It doesn't mean that you are not happy. It doesn't mean that you are not necessarily unfulfilled, but you feel that there is more where that came from. So it's about adding more happiness, adding more contentment, adding more good things into your life, adding more happiness. I think I said that. So I think generally this card implies that you may be in a situation where you're not overly happy. Yeah, that may be the case for some of you. It isn't the case for me, but I know that there is something more. So so you're not rejecting what you have, but you're just ready to open yourself up for more. So that's what I see. When she's looking here, I feel like I want to say wish upon the star. In your journal over the next few days or few weeks, write out numbers by numbers, starting with 1. What's important to you in terms of priorities as far as it comes to your self-satisfaction? So in other words, in order for you to be satisfied, what is important for you to achieve? Now, some of you may say, well, if you're not satisfied right now and you're looking for that outside, then you're kind of screwed. Yeah, that's pretty much true. However, when you understand what it is that you're looking for, you're less likely to miss it. So it doesn't mean you're dissatisfied, but it means you are ready to be satisfied more. I'm hoping that's going to make sense. I think that's going to make sense. Anything else I want to say? Wish upon the star. So yes, write a list of what's important to you. What are your dreams? What are your intentions? And then look at what is necessary on your part in order to meet your intentions, in order to meet your intended outcome. And then focus on the process. If your objective is to be seen on a YouTube channel, for example, then procrastinating on making videos isn't going to help you to be seen, right? So rather than spending time and worried, oh my God, what is it going to look like? I'm not ready. Rather than spending time and fixating on the fact that you're not ready because it's not perfect, instead, ask yourself, why do I want to be seen? Why is it important for me to be seen? I'm just using that as an example. It could be other examples as well. Whatever is important to you, ask why it's important to you. Is it important to you because it's going to satisfy you, or is it important to you because it's going to prove you somehow, or because it's going to tell you that you're a good person? You're already a good person. You're already a whole person. You're already a person who is perfect. Doesn't mean you can't upgrade, but it means you are perfect already. We all are, even with our inadequacies. Okay. Inadequacy is another way of saying I can't. Okay. If you say I can't, then that means you feel inadequate. So be a can person versus cannot person. And I think that's all I have. That was interesting. Letting go of resistance by not fighting it as much. It'll pass. Over the next 2 weeks to 2 months, it'll pass. Listen, I wish you best of luck. I hope this was helpful. If this does resonate with you, do drop a line down below on the comments. I read every single one and I heart them as much as I can. And I hope I don't miss too many. If some If some comments don't have a heart, it's because I haven't gone and see who hasn't gotten a heart yet. Sometimes I miss it because I get a lot of notifications. For private sessions, of course, with me, that information is down below for you. You will know how to reach me if that is what you wish. And with that said, I wish you a wonderful month of November. I look forward to seeing you in December. Take care of yourself. And yeah, be good.